I am fired up. I will tell you what, through hell or high water, I'm here today. Can't tell you how many things have gone wrong, but I don't care because I'm here to talk about egg prices. I'm here to talk about some collusion in the market, some possible price gouging, some man-made inflation, and some things that I've been suspecting for a long time that might just be proving to be right. We're going to start with a company called Cal-Maine. Cal-Maine is the nation's largest egg producer. They own about 20% of the market, which is a huge market share. They are very similar to other big ag companies in the sense that they own a little piece of every channel. They own the hens, they own the pens, they own the hatcheries, they own the packaging, they own the trucks, the distribution channels, so on and so forth. And as such, they have a lot of buying power. So just remember that. They have a lot of buying power. So when the avian flu hit, it actually hit in 2023, but we didn't see it or feel it or hear much about it until 2024 because that's the ripple effect of any industry. It takes a while for the consumers to really feel the pinch, right? So as that was happening, and farmers were losing flocks, they were barely staying afloat. They were surviving on razor thin margins. As that was happening, Cal-Maine was making record profits 2 years in a row. They'd already come out with their 2023 fiscal year earnings with record numbers. But when they came out again in 2025, looking back on the 2024 numbers, they announced that they had made something like 500% profit over the previous year. 500%. That number already pissed me off because I'm thinking to myself, you guys made 500% profit, meaning they could have made 300%, 400% and saved us a couple of bucks at the grocery store, but they didn't. So there was already some buzz going on about how Cal-Maine managed to be so profitable while all the other farms were barely staying afloat and some weren't staying afloat at all. And we were left with empty shelves or prices so high that we could barely afford them. Cut to last Friday. I see an article by Insider Monkey, which is an online finance, day trading, portfolio management type website. And they had named Cal-Maine one of their top ag picks for 2025 to invest in. They saw it as a good risk. And I was like, really? They can just keep going with this profit? This is crazy. And I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I'll invest. Maybe I will make some money off the enemy. I mean, they made plenty of money off us, right? So I read the article for kicks and giggles. And it concerned me for a few different reasons. Number one, it seemed to have a lot of red flags. It said things like it's a good stock for hedge funds. Year over year return is solid. It's good with you get a couple pops here and there. Those pops meaning times when Cal-Maine has used times of distress or natural disasters or pandemics to their advantage, i.e. speculation, allegedly. But also things like the company had made record profits. The company had also stated that they expect it to cool because commodity prices will come down, egg prices will reduce. Okay, all right, so a little bit of a red flag, but what they're saying is that year over year and time over time, it's a long-term good bet. Not a short-term through the roof, but a long-term good risk. And then I went on to read that the company was diversifying their controlled shares, that the CEO had sold off quite a few million, and that they were restructuring a little bit. And I was like, wait, is this a good risk? If all of this internal brouhaha is going on. Now, it said some good things too, that they were increasing their hens by like 1 million, that they were putting money back into the company as far as guardrails to make sure that something like the way the Avian flu hit doesn't hit again. Well, when I did a little bit more investigating, I come to find out, sure enough, the Department of Justice is investigating Cal-Maine for price gouging in 2024 during the Avian flu outbreak. Now, what you need to know about Cal-Maine is that they do not have the most stellar reputation. They've been embroiled in lots of controversies in the past, most of them self-inflicted. And here's just a couple to name a few. Here we go. In 2010, they had a Texas facility investigation. The Humane Society went in and did some undercover investigating. They took some video. I haven't decided yet if I'm actually going to play a few small clips here for you now. I couldn't watch more than just a few seconds at a time. Again, this was 15 years ago. Understood. They have hundreds of facilities across the United States, maybe not hundreds, dozens across the United States. They cannot be there for all of them. They cannot have 100% oversight into every day, every facility, every manager of every facility to make sure they should have done better. I understand how maybe once that slips through the cracks a little, but if you see the video that I saw, it wasn't just slippage through the cracks. It wasn't just, oh, we haven't cleaned up in a long time. It was disturbing. It was disturbing and inhumane treatment. Findings included hens confined in overcrowded cages, some sharing space with decomposing carcasses, and instances of neglect leading to starvation and death. The investigation highlighted systemic issues in the company's operations. This is just really dark stuff. So they quickly did an about face. They cleaned up their act. Onward and upward, right? Nope. 2018, a Florida facility investigation happened. The Animal Recovery Mission released undercover footage from Cal-Maine's Lake Wales, Florida farm. The video depicted hens living among dead birds, suffering from untreated injuries, and being subjected to physical abuse by workers. The facility was also reported to have infestation of cockroaches and other unsanitary conditions. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to get my mouth around those eggs that come from a facility like that, with cockroaches and decomposing carcasses, and it's just makes my mouth water. So once again, they said that they were going to do better. Hopefully they have. That was 2018. In 2020, there were price gouging allegations. The Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against Cal-Maine for allegedly inflating egg prices by approximately 300% during COVID, despite no significant supply disruptions. I just love that. I just love a company who decides to price gouge the customers, the same customers that made them rich, the same customers that lined their pockets all these years, the same customers who were forgiving of your horrible, inhumane treatment of animals. You decide to price gouge them as they are suffering, as they are losing their jobs, as they are losing loved ones, as they are scared to death with no money and no real understanding of the future. In 2023, the price-fixing verdict. A federal judge found Cal-Maine, along with other major egg producers, let me highlight that to make sure. I will go back and check who those were, guilty of conspiring to limit the U.S. egg supply between 2004 and 2008 to inflate prices. So how exactly did they get away with inflating the prices of eggs or price gouging? They created a false sense of supply and demand. So basically, they had the market share, the capacity, and the funds to replenish the flocks and the egg stocks. But what they did was hold back and let the market think and let the consumers think that there were far less eggs available than there were, so that the supply and demand economic shift would kick in and our prices of eggs would raise or inflate falsely, which is kind of shitty if you ask me. So what this all could mean is that the CEO knows what they did. They know they're going to be once again slapped with another lawsuit, slapped with heavy fines, slapped with bad press. So they sold off to create a little golden parachute for themselves, number one. And number two, they're relinquishing the controlling shares of their organization so that they can now push them off to companies like Vanguard or BlackRock, who also have two of the worst reputations in the industry for investor relations / insider trading. And they can sort of pad their fall from profit. And then I saw this article this morning that blew my fucking mind. Stay with me, folks.